There are so many wedding photographers being sued, so many wedding videographers being sued. I wanted to take a little bit of a dive into a video that I saw that says a wedding photographer who did a great job threatened with a $300,000 lawsuit. I want to watch this video because my company, we provide photography. We also do DJ and videography and photo booth and lighting and coordination services. And we do these things for weddings. Every time I see a video of one of my fellow wedding vendors being sued, I pay extra close attention to it. I'm not a lawyer, never went to law school, didn't try to pass the bar. I am just the owner of a wedding company. I have a vested interest in other wedding vendors and their legal battles. That is the reason why I'm watching this today. I'm doing a blind reaction to this video. Before I hit this play button, you have to hit that subscribe button so that way you get notified when I drop another video, which I'm doing all the time. I'm trying to give a lot of information, a lot of knowledge to you. And the only way for you to know when another video comes out is to hit that subscribe button. So do that for me.
Now,
let's go ahead and rock this video.
Hi, Gary Fong here, and I just got this letter from another photographer who is being basically threatened with a lawsuit, with a $300,000 jury lawsuit from a client who's also an attorney.
Oh, wow.
And it's quite a threatening letter, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, please read this letter carefully and its entirety. This is the only demand you will receive before you get sued. You ruined our wedding, period. You, of all people, are aware of how important wedding photos are, and your greed and incompetence that has gotten you into this mess. You have until a certain date to pay us $3,800, which was his fee, plus $15,000.
What?
It says here, you read that correctly. Read the rest of the letter before you think we are not reasonable.
Wow.
So I'll just keep going.
Wow. Unfortunately, things like this happen quite often, where you have someone who says that a vendor has ruined their wedding and now they have to pay, pay for the cost of their services plus, right? One of the cautions that I would have for both the wedding couple as well as the wedding vendor is have something in the contract that states what the ceiling, what the limit is on the amount if we have to litigate. For instance, if you have a contract similar to ours, then it would say something along the lines of,
we are only liable for the cost of our services.
I get it that weddings are one of the most important days of anybody's life, right? I get that. But to say that a wedding photographer ruined the day and now they are liable for X, Y, and Z, I think that is a little bit of an overreach. They may have definitely played a part in them being unhappy in their day and even, ruining that day. So let's put this in perspective. You have a wedding photographer, you hired the photographer, they did something that you didn't like, they didn't take the pictures, they showed up late, they hit on a bridesmaid, whatever it is. It's a day that they ruined, right? One of those examples, if they showed up late, well, that whole day is kind of screwed up because then you start late or whatever it is, right? If they hit on a bridesmaid, well, then that bridesmaid doesn't want to come out, and all the pictures are messed up, et cetera, et cetera. And so there's a lot of reasons why it would be ruined. But let's put this in perspective. Let's say you needed to get to the wedding ceremony. So you hired a taxi and that taxi breaks down. And that taxi then makes you late for the wedding and all those other things that I mentioned before. You're late, everything is rushed, blah, blah, blah. They ruined your day. You don't get to sue that taxi company for the cost of the wedding. You get to sue them for the services because they didn't provide the services. I mean, of course, anybody can sue anybody for any reason. That's been well established. However, there are limits to that. And the tough part is when you have a jury trial. When you get a jury trial, then it's more playing on the heartstrings of average people instead of talking directly to a judge who understands contract law. So this is going to be a tough one, a tough situation. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I did just want to mention that, kind of throw those things out there. Let's put this in perspective. On my soapbox, just got off of it. Now let's continue watching this video.
By the way, I've seen the photos, and this guy did a freaking great job. I mean, it's just the photos were great. In fact, the couple put 1,000 of them up on on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
And
Why is he first?
nice thing is this photographer took screenshots of the wall with all of their friends saying beautiful photos,
Oh,
great
nice.
job,
Okay.
and stuff like that. So he says, pay us, because the lawyer client says, pay us, it's the right thing to do. You royally screwed up someone's wedding. You really feel that you earned the money. What happened
Wow.
to the rule of customer service?
Wow.
Your entire livelihood is on the line.
Oh, wow.
Here's what will happen if you do not pay. Your reputation will be ruined, your livelihood destroyed.
Okay.
You will be miserable defending a huge lawsuit, and you will be in financial chaos. By the way, it's in pretty much every state that I know. You can't threaten someone's livelihood.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
one thing you really can't do. You can't say, "Oh, I'm going to sue you so you never work again." You got to be careful about stuff like that.
I think that they're absolutely right to be able to say that you're going to take away somebody's livelihood is, I believe in Florida, you can't do that either. You can't, make those claims. However, they were pretty close. I think that a judge would probably side with, I guess, the plaintiff in this case, saying that they were close, they skirted it, but they actually didn't go over that line. They were literally, if this is a line, they're literally like right there.
So it says, tarnish reputation. I will hire a person who specializes in search engine optimization.
Wow.
I will put photos up and blog about you extensively. Be
Wow.
guaranteed that anyone who searches for your name will find our website, which will not be flattering.
Wow.
And then it says, we will sue you until a jury verdict. Until
Wow.
a jury verdict? No, you will sue in a jury verdict. You don't
Right.
until.
Well, whatever. But basically what they're trying to say is, we will sue you and take it to trial until we get a verdict from the jury. We got what he's saying, dude.
This is probably the most worrisome aspect for you. You cannot win, and let me tell you why. Verbal contracts are enforceable in Washington State. That's true.
That's true, yeah, but what was said?
And the poor guy didn't do a contract, which
Yeah. Moment of silence for this photographer, please. Now, everyone open your eyes and say it with me. Get a signed contract. And the part that drives me
insane
in this scenario is that this is an attorney. Why would this attorney who is writing this demand letter that is full of threatening language in here, why would they not put something on paper and have both people sign it? That part makes no sense to me.
It says, if we win, we are guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. The jury may award the $300,000 that we ask for, or even more. It will be no problem to have a jury rule in our favor after we blow up the pictures and show them.
Blow up the pictures and show what?
I am a partner in this law firm. That means I have zero out-of-pocket expenses suing you. It costs me nothing. Hey, dumb. You have only 8 hours a day of inventory. If you charge $300 per day, your entire income is $2,400 a day plus overhead and everything. And I'm sure you don't work. Most attorneys I know really collect only 1/3 of what they bill. So this is a little peon attorney. You can tell by the letter because he's just trying to threaten the guy.
Right? Yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
I have zero out-of-pocket expenses suing you. It costs me nothing. I will subpoena you out to court to give testimony under oath of perjury. That means if you lie, you will go to jail.
Wow. I really didn't mean to pause it right there, but I second your thoughts. Your freedom of speech right there. First, this person who wrote this letter is assuming that this other person is going to lie. Like, you're calling them a liar right away. You lie. Like, well, why would you say that? You're giving testimony under oath, right? If you lie, you will go to jail. Well, that's not necessarily true. It's up to the judge. So the judge has absolute power in the courtroom. So they can decide,
you sit on a throne of lies.
So I'm going to fine you $1. Or the judge can say, you lied. And because I can't stand perjurers, I am going to give you the maximum allowable for perjury, which could be a year in jail. Kind of just depends on what city that you're in. But for this person to say, if you lie, you're going to go to jail. Like, don't call me a liar, plants for hire. I mean, I understand that you're not happy with the photos and this is demand letter. We're trying to make it as threatening as possible, but come on, bro.
it was a shoot to burn gig, and the client said, you know what, just give us all of the images. We've got Lightroom. We know how to fix them. You know, you don't have to do anything. If it's cheaper, we'll do all the editing. So what the photographer did was sent all the pictures and didn't take out the outtakes. That is a smoking gun for someone to sue you, because that client can now take those outtake images and say that they were shot incompetently. Well, you know as well as I do, sometimes it takes you a couple shots to get the shot correctly. Maybe the flash didn't go off. Maybe it was out of focus, but you corrected in shot number 2 that was taken, or shot number 3 that was taken maybe a split second ago.
I agree. Even if they ask for all the images, you still call the images. You always archive. We archive. I was looking at our archive records back here, and we have weddings from 2000. That's kind of where I stopped, was 2000, but we still have photos in there from 2000. We have the raw images. A little lesson for you with photography is your camera typically shoots in RAW, which is the highest resolution possible for the camera. And then typically you transfer it to a JPEG image or PNG, depending on which one you want to use. Most just like to use JPEGs because most computers can read JPEGs. And you take the raw images, and as he mentioned, you take multiples of one scenario because people blink, people move, they might not be looking at you. I'm sure you've seen at weddings where the photographer is taking a picture and then so is cousin, and everybody's looking at cousin at the moment. But then a split second later, they're looking at you. Well, that's the picture you give them. You don't give them the look at cousin Becky picture, or somebody's blinking, or they have a stray hair, or whatever it is. So all of those pictures in one scenario, let's say it's the bride, the groom, and the wedding party. And they have one specific pose. Let's call it the Charlie's Angels pose. So everybody's doing the Charlie's Angels pose.
Everybody smile. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Click, 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 click.
That's typically the way it would happen. Or,
all right, everybody smile. 1, 2, 3. Click, 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 click. All right, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Click, 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 click. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Click, 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 click.
Right. So that's about a dozen photos for that one Charlie's Angels pose. Then you go into post, and if you're going to give the client all the images, then you go through and say, okay, that's a dozen of the same images. Which ones are the best? Well, these two, they're blinking, that's out. This, somebody else had a camera and their flash went off, so these two are out. And now we're down to 8 photos. Now, of these 8 photos, which ones are the best? Well, I really like the way they're smiling in this one, and I really like the lighting in this one. So now we're giving 2. So out of the 12, here's 2. Right? The client isn't going to want bad images, and they're also not going to know any different because we still gave them images of that pose. So whenever a photographer gives you all the images, that's typically what happens. It's called culling. We remove the bad images and only give you the best images of those specific poses, not the best images of the day, just the best images of the poses. If you are a photographer and you're not doing that, then you are setting yourself up for unhappy clients. The reason for that is in that scenario that I literally just mentioned. So out of the 12 images, you're going to give them 2. When they look at these 2 photos, they're going to love image 1 and image 2. That is 100% happiness. That's what we like. If you give them 12 images and they only like 2 of them, that is 20% happiness. We don't like that. They're not happy because 10 of the 12 suck and 2 are good. Why not give them the 2?
Split second later, he didn't take those out. So those outtakes are there, and it, it could be framed to look really bad. Number 2, there was no contract.
Said it. Got to have a contract, dude.
And that's
you are screwed.
That is a really big problem.
And I would also say it's hard to tell what's in somebody's mind. I don't know who these people are. If you're out there and you're watching this video and you think I'm talking about you, then I probably am, but I'm probably not. Allegedly, in any other words that remove any liability for me. But what I'm saying is this person probably knew what they were doing. They probably planned on doing this from the beginning. They probably had this letter already ready to go. If they are a lawyer and they just said it's the biggest day of everybody's life and it's the most important day of everybody's life, and I am an attorney, and the one thing that attorneys know more than anything is that everything that you do
needs to have a mother contract,
and you don't press for a contract, then you are planning on doing some shady.
But, it's going to be a he said, she said kind of situation. This letter here is not going to go down good with the judge.
I agree.
The judge is going to look at this, and I think he's just going to squash this guy like a bug. This person.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I agree. He's bullying. He's bullying for sure.
Basically, all the things he's saying, you can't sue a wife She's not a party to the action. She didn't shoot the wedding. So just because it's community property state, it doesn't mean... Anyway, I can't even go there. This is just... The guy is just so freaking stupid. I've seen the photographer's images, and they were really good. In fact, I'm planning on testifying at the trial as an expert witness. This photographer had expert-level skill. The photographs were beautifully done. He posted them up, the couple posted them up, 1,000 of them onto Facebook, where they got just a whole bunch of comments, and wisely the photographer took screenshots of all the comments.
That's smart.
On the
Very
walls,
smart. Yep.
of their guests saying, wow, these are beautiful photographs and everything like that. So for them to come out and say, you ruined our wedding, you know what, I don't know. This attorney, I don't know. He probably goes like that, and it's not... Anyway, so...
what are you trying to say, Gary?
Use a contract when you shoot a wedding.
Absolutely.
And here's the big lesson. Even if you're an expert photographer...
Agree.
And you do an incredible job...
Agree.
You could get really screwed. I mean, even if you had a contract. I mean, there's people out there that will take advantage of you. So tread lightly on the wedding photography thing, okay?
Fun fact, this video was 12 years ago. That means we have probably got some kind of resolution to this case. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to research to the depth of the internet and the depth of Gary Fong's channel to find out what happened with this case. Did he testify? Did the judge throw it out? What happened with this? I am so curious about it, because it kind of affects me, and it probably has affected me if we did have a resolution, because there's case law. This is all fun stuff that I have been just watching and researching and seeing how things happen in the real world when it comes to wedding photography and videography and DJs and photo booth and lighting and coordination and all of that. I appreciate you taking that journey with me today. And I know that you are not completely satisfied because you don't know what happened with this case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to research, and I'm going to scour the internet, and I'm going to see if I can find the resolution to this case. I'm going to start with Gary Fong's channel, and I'm going to go all over the internet, and then I am going to put that second video right here. So you don't have to wait long to find out what happened. Check out my next video right now.